everybody, John here from BBGate, and I want to go ahead and go through my bag for 2022 so you can see what I'm going to be throwing this year. I am still fairly new to disc golf, so a lot of my discs, you might say, well, just get the same mold and get one with different stages of wear and all that. I get that, but since I've been throwing less than a year at this point, I have structured my bag to where I have different discs that are made to do different things. But as I wear in certain molds and get them a little bit flippier in the way I want them, I will be changing up a little bit, simplify my bag. But first off, I just want to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. I currently work for a production company, shooting video, obviously, because that's what I'm doing now. And I have the unique opportunity to be traveling the United States right now. I'm going to all 50 states. So my goal for this year is to be able to play and shoot a video in all 50 states. And I'm going to be bringing that to you. And one of the other things I want to do while I am getting the chance to play is I am collecting discs. I'm looking for state-specific discs that I can get, because I'm going to put them up on my wall at home and create a nice little studio. And I'm looking for a disc in each state. And the first chance I got to do that was in Indiana. And I got a huge shout out to Ryan over at Disc Crazy in New Albany, Indiana, because he hooked me up. He's got a great disc golf store over there. He is super knowledgeable. If you were in the area and have a chance to stop by, make sure you do. He was just awesome to talk to. They have just about everything you could want, and just a great place to stop in. He hooked me up with some discs. I bought one of them first, and then he actually brought me a couple from his personal collection to help me out. So I am super, super thankful for that. So first one I was able to get was my disc for Kentucky, which is the Bowling Green Amateur Championships from 2020. This is a dynamic disc Sargent. Really cool disc. It's going to look great on the wall. And then for the state of Indiana, he was able to get me a dynamic disc Truth for the 2019 Glass Blown Open. Super, super awesome disc. It's got the state flag in the middle. Awesome. And then when he went looking for that one, he even found me one for California as well. So you've got the 2019 Glass Blown Open. So I am excited. Right now I am in Tennessee. I'm going to be going out later today, and I'm going to be playing some courses and also looking for some discs. So if you do know of a place that I should check out, let me know. And then if you've got some discs or lead on some, I'm looking for either state-specific discs like these, or from tournaments, stuff like that. I just want to be able to get a disc from each state. So if you've got a lead on them, just let me know in the comments, and I would love to be able to get those from you. So I'm going to start off with my bag. This is the Grip EQ AX5, and this is probably more bag than I need at this point, but I do plan on keeping one bag for a while. When I first started off, I went through a couple of cheaper bags, the Amazon special type bags, and I wasn't really happy with those because I kept wearing them out, and there's specific little things about each bag that I didn't like, but this bag seems to have everything that I was looking for. So I am super, super happy with this bag. Holds all the discs that I need, and it actually gives me room to throw a few extras in there for luxury items. So that's my bag. Of course, I got it in the tan. So I'm going to start off with my putters. All right, let's see what I got here. Sorry about that. All right, so for my putting putters, I currently throw the EMAC Judge. Absolutely love these things. Started off with a Innova starter pack with the AVR in the DX plastic. Quickly realized that was too light for me, and I went and I was at a store and saw the Judge, the regular Judge, in a plastic that I like. It was like a dark gray with a red stamp. It looked really cool because I'm an Ohio State fan, and looked really awesome, but it was only in a starter pack. So I bought the starter pack just so I could get that specific disc. But I settled on the EMAC Judges. I just really like how they feel and how they fly. These are in the classic, or the Prime Burst, sorry. And super great. I have a matching set, blue and orange, and then the red and blue. And then for my throwing putters, one thing that's actually I found very hard to find is a Lucid X EMAC Judge. I found this one through a guy on Facebook, and I was able to trade him a custom dyed bird that I did for this disc. This is an awesome disc. I wanted something that was obviously just like my Judges, but in more premium plastic, so that way when I'm teeing off through the woods, I don't wreck my putting putters throwing against a tree, because I tend to do that a lot. One of the main things I'm working on right now in my game is, the two things is forehands. I used to be primarily a forehand player just because I did a lot of sports growing up. When I played around here and there growing up, nothing really getting into it. Then I switched to backhand when I really got involved last year, but in doing that, I kind of threw off my forehand again. So now I'm relearning my forehand with proper techniques. But outside of forehand, I'm working on throwing putters. I have a lot of arm speed that I'm learning to harness, and I have a tendency to turn over my discs as I work on my angles. So I have a variety of throwing putters just to get used to them and learn how to throw putters properly. So in addition to my EMAC Judge, I have my 2021 Tour Series Luna, and this is great for straight and slightly overstable shots with that soft fade at the end. Really like this disc. Still learn how to throw it though, because sometimes I turn this thing over even. And then I just got, right before my trip started, a Tour Series Fierce, and this one is super exciting because just the different things you can do with those nice turnover shots with the Fierce. Really like this disc. I haven't got to play a round with it yet, just some putting practice and stuff, but I like the way this feels. I also have a Fierce in the putting plastic, and I didn't bring that with me on this trip because that's a unique problem also that I didn't talk about. So with my trip, I'm on the road 24/7, so I had to pack my bag for any and all situations. Don't get to swap out discs unless I feel like buying more and sending the other ones home. So I built my bag to just try and cover as many scenarios on the course I could think of. And so I threw the Fierce in my bag just so I can play with it, learn how to use that on the road trip. All right, so let's go to my main approach disc. Is the Get Freaky Zone in the Crystal Flex plastic. Super awesome disc. I can just put tons and tons and tons of power into this thing, and I know every single time it is going to come back left for me as a right-hand backhand thrower. Absolutely fantastic disc. It's not for everyone, obviously, but I love using this for spike hyzers, for those wide shots that I know are coming back, throwing in the wind. Excellent disc. I don't have my first ace yet. I'm hoping to get that on camera during this whole trip, but I have been super close with this disc. I can't even tell you the number of times, whether I've had to hit the top of the basket, I've had it hit the actual basket and come out, I've had it hit the pole. So this is a good, if we were betting, this is a good disc to bet on for being my first ace. So that's my putters. Let's go ahead and move into my mid-ranges. And I have a variety of mid-ranges instabilities. So starting off with my understable, I have an ESP Meteor. I love this disc. I got it from the Black Friday premium misprint box from Discraft. You can see that on my channel where I got to unbox those. And this is a great flying disc. Super good for everybody, beginners, advanced. You can do hyzer flips with it. You can get to turn over and still have that gentle fade at the end. So super great disc. And then next, my main just neutral or straight flying mid-range is going to be my Axiom Hex. This is a great disc. For me, it glides forever. I can get shots. I think my max distance I've thrown with this one so far is about 270 feet. This thing will just go and go and go. Super love this disc. For right now, it took the spot of my Buzz in my bag, which is unfortunate because I really like my Buzzes. I have a really special one that you'll see at some point with tacos on it, and it's pretty awesome. But for now, I went with my Hex. I do have a custom dye job on it that I did myself, and that's a little hobby that I'm getting into but I love the hex. And then I also have my Lucid EMAC Truth. Again, one that I dyed. This dye didn't come out quite like I wanted, but I still love throwing this disc. This is great. Can also hold a lot of power. Very similar to my hex, but I can power down a little bit on this and get that more of a fade at the end into the basket or up to the basket, because I did, however, almost get my first ace with this last week in Indiana. Super close. 202-foot hole, split some trees, hit the band by about an inch. So this one would also be a good bet for getting my first ace. But great disc, love it. And then for my overstable, I am throwing a Big Z Malta. Again, another custom stamp. You're gonna see, or dye job. Pretty much any of my dye discs that you see are going to be ones that I did myself. Some came out better than others, but I do like how this came out. This one's fairly new for me, but I can kind of consider this a longer zone for me, so I can get it more distance out of it and know it's gonna come back. All right, so for fairway drivers, let me see what I've got in here. All right, so fairway drivers for me are basically anything from a 6-speed to a 9-speed. So I've got a couple of those. So let's start off with my Innova Ricky Wysocki T-Bird 3 and Champion Plastic. Love this disc. Get great distance out of it, and it's got that stable to overstable finish to it. Really like this disc. And then another disc that I got in my mystery print box, or the misprint box for Thanksgiving, is the Paige Pierce Passion First Run. The exact one that I got in my box was a pink one, but I wanted this one because it's a little bit heavier and I love the watermelon look to it. This is one of my current favorite discs. It is just super flat and straight. Absolutely love this disc. And then another one of my favorite drivers, I have my Missy Gannon Tour Series Undertaker. Great disc. Super reliable. It's going to come back. Great to throw in the wind. It's not going to turn over. Awesome one. And then I found at my local shop in the used bin an ESP Undertaker. So I'll go ahead and show you that one. This is one that I was able to dye myself. And this one, because it's already used, it's beat in, and this gives me a lot of extra turnover with it. And I was actually found in my local Facebook group, the guy who owned this, because I showed him a picture of the dye job that I did. And he's like, yeah, you're welcome for the disc. It's pretty flippy, so enjoy. Like, sweet, that's perfect. So I have my flippy Undertaker, and I have my stable Undertaker. So really fun disc to throw. And then, of course, my utility disc is the Raptor. See if I can get the glare off there. So my Raptor here, Big Z Raptor. You know what a Raptor is. You know what it does. Fantastic disc. I was throwing a Firebird for a while, but I went to a lot of disc crafts, so I do still have the Raptor, and pretty great. All right, so let's get into my distance drivers. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to start with my main drivers, and then we'll kind of go from there. So my main driver is the, here we go, come on, focus. There we go, the Halo Wraith from Innova. Absolutely love this disc. It is great for my arm speed. I can get close to 400 feet with this, which is really, really good. Great glide. So this one is my first one that I bought, and it's starting to get beat in, so it's getting flippy, getting a lot of turn, and I can get some flex shots out of it. Super great. And then right before my trip, I picked up a brand new one, purple with the red stamp, and this is great just to have one because they're super stable, pretty beefy right out of the box, and this is great to have that as well. All right, so moving our way up, I have the Big Z Onyx for, again, those long fairway shots with that pretty reliable fade at the end. Great disc for the Big Z Onyx. And then for my understable, I have an Avenger SS. You can see that. Pretty cool looking ESP plastic, again, out of my misprint box. As soon as I got this one, it went straight in the bag, and really like this disc. All right, so let's see. I have, right now, I have a Z Scorch. And again, for those longer flex shots, that reliable fade. Don't know if this will stay in the bag. I brought it with me because I was throwing the Innova Archon, and this is a very similar disc, and I really, really like it. So then I have another distance driver custom die job. This is the Trespass, a Lucid Trespass from Dynamic Discs. This is a super fun disc to throw. It goes straight, and then it's got that sable finish. This is one of the few 12 speeds I have in my bag right now, just because my arm speed 11 to 12 is like my sweet spot. I can muscle up to a 12. 11s are pretty comfortable for me. That's why I have the race in there. But I can get a hold of this one, and super fun to throw. Then I also have the Missy Gannon Thrasher. Great disc for turnover shots or for hyzer flips, which I'm getting better at. Really fun disc to throw. Just don't throw it in a headwind because it's going to go and it might not come back. Actually, one of the courses I was throwing up in Michigan, I was throwing at Firefighters, if you know where that is, in Troy, Michigan. I threw this one, it turned over, went into the snow, and even though I saw where it landed, I couldn't find it. And I had to come back a couple of days later because I couldn't find it. Spent about 30 minutes looking for it, couldn't find it. So then I went back after the snow melted a couple of days later and found it in pretty much where I was looking, but it was a couple inches under the snow. It's sitting there for me. So this is a fun disc. And then my newest disc, again, another shout out to Disc Crazy, the Royal Grace from Latitude 64. Very, very similar disc to the Wraith. So that's why I'm super excited to throw this thing. This is the last one that Ryan had in his shop. So thanks for letting me pick this up off of you. Super, super great feel in the hand. The Royal Plastic just feels phenomenal. I've only gotten to play one round with it at this point, but I am looking forward to playing with this some more. I'm going to be doing a comparison of this to the Wraith. So I have my beat-in Wraith, I have a brand new Wraith, and then I have the this new Grace. So I am looking forward to being able to play and compare those together. All right, so those are all my main discs. Let's go ahead and look at the bag here. I've got a couple of minis. Again, I'm a huge fan of the Judge, and so I have my little, I don't know if you can see that, is a little mini of the Judge mini markers, gotta love them. And then I have my hand-eye supply disc. Let's see, there we go, focus on that. Another little mini marker, super cool, the Physics of Flight Bureau. Great little mini there. All right, what else have I got in here? And then I also carry, I just got this one too, haven't got to throw it yet. This is a Macro Tesla, and I am super, super excited to be able to throw this thing. From everything that I've seen, they fly just like the full-size Tesla, and you can really get a hold of them, so this is gonna be fun. And then I have the Golden Retriever from Dynamic Discs as my go-to take care of your bad shot in the creek retriever, and I've had to use this a couple of times to get some of my favorite discs, including my orange putting putter out of the creek when it was cold, and very reliable there. All right, I think that just about does it. I do have in my top pocket here, I do have Ripped Revenge. When you're playing with friends, you gotta keep that in the bag. And then, of course, Sharpies, because you want to make sure if you do lose your favorite disc, you can get it back. So, and then I have a towel, and then a Bubba brand water bottle, because you need water out on the course. Oh, and then last, certainly not least, I have my Buzz hat, because I like hats. So my Buzz hat from Discraft. Wear that on pretty much every course I go to unless it's cold and I need to cover up my ears because I have big ears. So that is my in the bag. That is what I'm throwing on this road trip. If there's something else you think I should try, let me know. I certainly would love to hear your opinions on that. And I'm looking forward to be able to compare some of these discs And as I learn and get better, it'll be fun to see how my bag changes throughout all that. So make sure you like and subscribe, follow the channel, follow the journey. I'm working on getting a Facebook page set up, but make sure you follow here for all the updates and just the exciting things that I get to do and this road trip that I'm on. We'll see you next time. All right.